Okay. The lesson 13 practice problems, you only had 2 of them, but number 2 made you think. Number 1. First, it says select all the polyhedra. Who can tell me what is a polyhedra? What is a polyhedra? Elise?
A polyhedra is a 3D shape that is not round and it is connected.
So
No, that's no.
she's not wrong. Ethan, what were you going to add?
Most of them are the same
Shape?
Yeah, and like.
What do we call shapes? What's a better name than a shape? Ellie?
A polygon.
A polygon. It is a 3D solid figure made up of polygons, which Elise said can't be a circle because a circle is not a polygon. Okay, which means it can't have any curves. There we go, now it's working. A circle is a shape, but a circle is not a polygon. Okay, so in that one, Afton, what do you think about A?
It is one.
It is. Why?
Because it has flat sides. Like, they're not curved.
Okay, it's all made up of
Parallel.
polygon. It's closed, and it's a 3D figure. It's a solid 3D figure made up of polygons. What about B? Jake? Yeah, it's ugly, but it is a polyhedron. C, Meyer? Why not? Yeah, because it has a circle on it, and a circle is not a polygon, so that cone cannot be a polyhedron, because a polyhedron is made up of polygons. D, Dom? D is for Dom, yes. Why?
Because it doesn't have like curvy shapes and it's all connected.
Because it is a 3D solid figure made up of polygons, right? That's what I thought you said. E, Tatum?
Well, I mean, it's a sphere, so no.
Okay, why is it no?
Because a sphere has curved edges. A sphere doesn't have any faces or bases.
Okay, Ethan?
Has no sides.
Yeah, it doesn't have any sides. She was given the more technical term, but you're right. Okay, so that one is out. Who thinks they can name A? Remember, all polyhedron are pyramids or prisms, and they're named by their base. So who thinks they can tell me what the name of A is? Owen? Okay, it's a rectangular pyramid. Let's write that in. It didn't ask for it. Rectangular pyramid. Because it is a pyramid that has a rectangle bottom. Who thinks they can name D? Who thinks they can name D? Yes.
Is B name it, or is it just...
Yeah, we're not going to name B because we're just going to pretend that one's... We're going to name the ones that we will see in 6th grade. I'm sure that one has a name. I don't know what it is.
Multiple shapes in one.
There's the name.
Who thinks they can name D? Ethan, give it a shot.
Hexagon.
Okay, so hold on. He's saying hexagon because what?
Because if you flip it up.
Because he sees this top shape is a hexagon, and he is correct, but a hexagon is a 2D shape, and this is a 3D shape. So he's partially correct. This is a hexagonal, or depending on how you hear it, some people pronounce it hexagonal. I don't like it that way. Hexagonal. You'll hear it both ways. But what other word do I need, Tatum? Prism. Because it has 2 hexagon bases. Okay? So the base shape helps us name it, but then it's always going to be a prism or a pyramid. Number 2.
Does every 2D shape have a 3D base?
Yes. If it's a polyhedron, it would have to either be a prism, that with prism behind it, or that with pyramid behind it. Yep. Or like even if it's a circular one, this would be like this one. It's not, it just has a special name. That's not a pyramid, it's a cone. It's just like circles have special rules. This would be like the prism form of a circle, but it doesn't have bases, so we can't call it a prism. Okay, number 2. Polyhedron, prism, pyramid, is the polyhedron a prism, pyramid, or neither? Elise?
It is a prism because it has rectangular faces,
Okay.
hexagonal faces.
Okay, so I'm not going to say the shape of the bases, but you are correct with a prism. And I'm going to put because it has rectangle faces and 2 bases is the important part. Okay, so if you had one or the other, make sure you have both. So I want you to have something about that it has rectangle faces and 2 bases. So if you had just one of those, add in the other. Now it's the hard part. First, can anybody tell me what they think that one is called? What is the first? We know it's a prism, so it's a something prism. Jake? What is the base? What is the base shape? Count the sides. Are there? Count the sides. How many sides are there, Jake? 8. So what shape? What is an 8-sided figure called? Octagon. So it's a octagonal prism is the name of it because it's a prism with base shapes of an octagon.
Just add dogs to everything?
Pretty much. Yep. Gonal.
Is this number 2?
No, I just added that in. That's just the name of this shape. It didn't ask for it, but we can give it. Okay, I asked you to count faces, bases, edges, vertices, right? Faces, bases, edges, vertices. Now, why do most of you probably not like the faces answer? I put 8 in parentheses because I'm assuming most people had 8.
Yeah. Faces have faces. Are bases faces?
Faces include the bases. I know, it's weird. So faces are bases, but bases are faces, but faces are not bases. It's clear as mud, right?
Yeah. No. That's easy.
So really, it's you count all of the sides and then add in the bases.
Oh, so bases are the ones that are like the faces? No.
Is there any
Faces on most of them. Most of your faces are all triangles or rectangles. Okay? The bases on this one are what shape? Jake? Octagons. Okay? Faces. The way that we remember the difference between prisms and pyramids is the faces are rectangle or triangles. But now I'm adding in that the faces also include the bases. Okay, so you'll always just add 2 or 1 to whatever your number is. If it's a pyramid, you'll add 1. If it's a prism, you'll add 2. Edges. Raise your hand if you got 24. Okay, raise your hand if you got 16. Okay, 16 is a common wrong answer, so I'm going to show you where those numbers come from. I'm going to erase what's up here. I'm going to erase what's up here. I'm going to count the edges. If I look right here, 1, need a color. There's, oh my goodness. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If there's 8 on this side, how many's on that side? 8. So there's 8, 8. Where else are there edges? Hallie?
Like a rectangle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times 3 is 24. How could I make my life a lot easier instead of counting those if I can figure out the tricks? Leo?
If it's an octagon, it'll have 8 edges.
It'll have 3 sets of 8.
Yeah.
If it's a pentagon, it'll have 3 sets of 5. And if you need to, count one side and then just know that side's the same and the middle is the same. You can always count them also. That will always get you there. I'm just trying to teach you tricks. Vertices. Where 3 sides come together are just the points. Let me get rid of all my, I'm just going to clear it all. All my points would just be at the ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another 8 on the other side. Leo.
It's not corners, it's vertices, but they move the same way.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Just close your book for a minute. First, I'm going to talk about RTI. RTI starts Monday. The whole 6th grade is split in 3 groups. So you won't just be with Miss Dillon's homeroom. Okay, you're divided into 3 groups. I'm going to tell you those groups. I'll come around and tell you individually what group you're in. Okay? And I'll tell you who goes where. Because during RTI time on Monday, which your guys' RTI time is at 2 to 2:30? No, you're in the morning. You're 10:15 to 9:45 to 10:15.
Yeah, right.
9:45 to 10:15. My whole schedule flip-flops every time I switch RTI. So, yes, during your RTI time in the morning, you will either come in here, you will go in Miss Dillon's room, or you will go with Miss Becker. Okay, she is the new RTI teacher. You've probably seen her around a little bit.
Like the older one?
Nope, not that one. It's Dawn Becker. And if you're in that group, I'm not sure exactly where she's going right now because her group, there are, I think, 12 students. I think the groups are 12, 12, and 10. And her room is not big enough because her room is Miss Mitch's office now. And I don't think we can fit 12 students in there. So I'm assuming you'll be in the science lab across the hall, but I don't know for sure. If you are in Miss Becker's group, you'll just have to listen Monday for where your group is going, okay? But, so RTI time is a time where I can help you or other teachers can help you on skills that you need extra help in, okay? We get the scores and who needs help in what areas from your fast bridge testing. Now, the benefit of me having you last year is there's sometimes where I'm like, yeah, that's not an accurate representation of what that student knows. And we have not been fully trained on the Fast Bridge program. So I am not even aware of all of the things that I'm able to do with it. Even though I'm one of the main people, we still have 2 more trainings before we know everything we're supposed to know about Fast Bridge. So what I've decided to focus on the first round of RTI for math is fractions. Okay? Because I know we all need a little bit of extra help on fractions. Do you guys agree with that? We learned basics of fractions last year. We got into adding, subtracting, and multiplying and dividing. So during RTI, one thing is you'll never have homework, okay? It's all in class, and it's more like hands-on. It's not a teacher teaching and you learning. It's you doing projects to better your skills in that area. Hallie?
Will we do a calculus test like every quarter?
You'll do it once a quarter, yep. And actually, I don't even know if it's quarter. You'll do it 3 times a year because we won't do it at the very end of the year. Yeah, so like I said, we're starting on fractions, and I'll tell you the whole 4 weeks what you're doing. Day 1, you will be assigned 3 different fraction skills. Your group might get reducing fractions. Your group might get changing improper to proper and proper to improper. Your group may get adding and subtracting with common denominators or different denominators, or multiplying fractions or dividing fractions, or adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Okay, but your group will get 3 skills. As a group, I am assigning you videos to watch. Okay, they will be in Google Classroom. I am assigning you videos to watch as a group. And then you are going to become the experts again on those 3 skills. You will teach or reteach the class how to do those 3 skills. I have a worksheet for you where you guys as a group will decide on 3 examples that you want to show the class to teach them that skill. While you are teaching them, what do you think they're going to be doing? They're going to be taking notes. Like you're the teacher, they're the students. Okay, but there's groups of 3, so you'll have some people to bounce some ideas off of. Once all the groups have taught all of the skills, and Jake's group, like let's say he has changing improper to mixed numbers. His group will provide 3 examples for you guys to do with them, and then they'll provide you with 3 problems that you do on your own. And then they'll go over those problems to make sure you got the right answers. Does that make sense? There are 8 skills total, 9 skills total that you guys are going to be relearning, essentially, that all have to do with fractions. Once all of the groups have presented all of the skills and you have been refreshed on those skills, then you will start doing some games with them, okay? I have a scoot game, which it's just like you'll roll a dice to move. I have a game, it's like fraction, flip, and roll. You're still doing fraction operations, and then we'll do some Quizlets and stuff like that. All of that, guys, will take about 4 weeks. That's not like a real quick project because you're only in there for 30 minutes a day. Some days you will have Chromebooks and some days you will not. On Monday, you will have Chromebooks, so that's the day I'm going to have you watch the videos to refresh yourself how to do the skills, and then you can begin working on your examples. Do you think you should have your problems worked ahead of time, the ones that you're going to have your classwork? Yes. So that's what you're going to be working on during the times without computers, is working out your 3 examples, working out your 3 problems to make sure you guys all agree on how to do the problem. Leo? Why? Okay, well then that's between you and whoever's in your group. Okay? Does that make sense, what you're going to be doing? And again, this is a 4-week thing. It's not a real quick, I'm done type thing. So again, one of your groups will be with me, one will be with Miss Dillon, one will be with Miss Dawn Becker. Yes?
So teaching the class would be like just you teaching the whole class? Or?
There'll be only 12 people in a group. So I'm saying groups more than once. The 3 sections are 12, 12, and 10. And there's 3 people in your group. So if you're in the group of 12, you'll be teaching the other 9 students.
Oh, so we'll have like
So yeah, so there'll be 2 different groups teaching reducing fractions. It's just they'll be in 2 different classrooms. Does that make sense? It's actually 3 different groups teaching the same thing. So you're getting split into smaller chunks of people.
Will we ever switch teachers?
Yes. Yep, this is just for the first 4 weeks. After the first 4 weeks, then you'll do 4 weeks of ELA. The groups will all switch up. And then next time we do math, the groups will switch up again. Owen.
Why don't we go with Miss Locke instead of whatever that other teacher? Miss Becker.
So Miss Becker is the RTI teacher. Like that is her position. Her certification is to help like younger kids in reading skills, like help build up their reading skills. Junior high math is just a different monster. And Miss Locke will actually be doing 5th grade ELA RTI, while we are doing 6th grade math RTI. Everybody has RTI this year. It's new, but we decided Miss Locke would be more beneficial as a ELA helper than a math helper. And Miss Becker and Miss Dillon have a little bit of math background. But you really shouldn't need a whole lot from the teacher. A lot of it's going to be group work. They'll be able to help you a little bit, but that's why you have groups. Okay? Okay, so that's that. I will tell you your groups before you leave here. Now, homework. I am going to give you 2 different pieces of paper. What is on all of these pieces of paper? What do we call these? Raise your hand and tell me the proper name of these. Hallie. They are nets. They are flat, unfolded 3D shapes. Your homework will be to make them into 3D shapes, into polyhedrons. Pass those out. Pass those out. They're all the same. You start in the back. Let Ethan start in front. Ethan and Afton are bringing you around a half sheet. At the bottom of this half sheet, it has directions. Jake, yours is right here. That one's Dawson's. Shh. At the bottom, it says, cut out the shapes. Do not cut off the dotted lines. You'll need those to, it says tape close. You'll probably use glue instead. So when you are cutting, I'm just going to hold this one up. There are dotted lines. You do not cut off those dotted lines. So you're cutting the outermost line.
So the black line or the dotted?
The black or dotted, whichever one is on the outside. So like when you get to the dotted line, you cut the dotted line. When you get to the solid line, it's a solid line. Because those are going to be your flaps that you use to glue. If you don't have flaps, it's going to be really hard to glue it together. Okay? Let's see if I can, I don't think I have it online to show you. So I can, but if you cut the outermost line, that'll be the line that you have to cut. Fold at all of the lines, dotted lines, solid lines. You will make a fold, and that's what it says here. Fold on all of the solid and dotted lines. Tape to create a 3D shape. Fill out the appropriate card above and cut it out. You're not going to do number 5 and number 6 right now. Okay? So on your directions down at the bottom, just put an X over 5 and an X over 6. We're not tying them to yarn and all of that. We're not going to have time. Okay? So on the top, there are 3 cards. You're only doing 2 of them. So put an X through the big C, the bottom one. A and B should be filled out. Okay? Everybody will have an A and everybody will have a B. Yep, I'm going to give you 2 different papers.
So we just fold it into a shape?
You fold it into a shape and then you fill out this piece of paper for your two shapes. You will name the polyhedra. So remember, it'll be some kind of prism or some kind of pyramid. You will tell me the name of the base shape. You will tell me the number of faces and the face shape. You will tell me the number of faces, vertices, and edges. So really, you're filling out one of these little pieces of paper for each of your two shapes. Ethan.
So you can make it into whatever shape.
Well, when you start folding it, it'll only fold one way. Like I think if it can only fold one way. When you start doing it, you want it to be a closed 3D figure. Mm-hmm. So I think once you cut it and start folding, you'll be like, okay, it has to go like this.
So what do you fold? Just fold them like to make a shape.
Come to me in study hall and I'll help you with one. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you'll get it when you start folding it. Leo.
So, each one of these pretty much what we did yesterday?
Yes. Yes. Afton. Take your best guess. Do your cards in pencil, because this is what we're going to talk about on Monday. We're going to fix it. Okay? Remember, all of them should be a pyramid or a prism. How do I decide on the first word?
If it's rectangular.
By the base shape. By the base shape. If the base shape is a rectangle, then it's a rectangular prism or a rectangular pyramid. Okay, I'm going to stop this and then I'll pass out the papers.